Neaton, the chair for the communication department, and I am honored to introduce Hannah Johnson, our outstanding student in communication for 2014-15. When I first met Hannah, it was her very first class coming back to college, and it was public speaking. She was shy, somewhat intimidated. She had been a stay-at-home mom for a number of years. And so when she first started her speech, her first one, she had a little bit of a sing-song characteristic to her speaking, sort of like she was talking to her preschooler at home. And it didn't take long, though, for her to dive right in. And she overcame that habit and developed her voice. She did that by demonstrating an incredible work ethic, excellent critical thinking skills, and just attacking that coursework. And she found her voice. She developed skills, and she was voted by her peers in class to present her advocacy speech at our department's honors event called Students for a Worthy Cause. So my fellow faculty in communication describe Hannah this way. She's conscientious, a hard worker with outstanding initiative. She is an example of effective and appropriate communication in action, and empathetic. I knew all this about Hannah. That was why I asked her to be a tutor in my class. And so she has been a stellar tutor. She's been working with 2 of my public speaking classes this semester. And she attends every class. She engages the students in conversations about their speeches. She assists me in helping run group work with the students. And she models appropriate communication skills. Empathy. That's a skill that Hannah excels at. I want to share just a very brief story about an instance when she stepped up and was there for other students and demonstrated that empathy. She did exactly what she needed to do at that moment. This is something that occurred a couple of weeks ago in a class, that a student in the class had a severe allergic reaction to peanuts. And she was having a lot of difficulty. So she went out in the hall, and while I'm on the phone talking to the 911 operator, Hannah's out in the hall, has her laying down on the carpet, kneeling at her side, holding her hand, helping her stay calm, even though that student could hardly breathe. And I'm on the phone, and I see the student's legs kicking, and Hannah just kept her wits about her, calmed that student. What was even more remarkable, that student's okay, by the way. But what was more remarkable is after the ambulance took the student away to the hospital, we came back into the classroom and everybody was a bit unsettled. And I was feeling kind of frustrated with the whole situation, how it had evolved and that somebody had brought peanuts, even though we all knew that there was a problem with allergies for this person. But Hannah knew exactly what to say. She thought to reassure the class, tell them that she's going to be all right, the student who went to the hospital, and that it was okay. That whoever had brought peanuts that day, that we realized they didn't mean any harm. It's easy for anybody to forget something like that. And that that person shouldn't feel guilty about it. That the student had allergies to a lot of different things. And we weren't sure what had triggered this. Now that was demonstrating empathy. And it was at a level that I personally was not capable of at that moment, but Hannah was. And I so appreciated that about her. But that's just one example that shows what an outstanding communicator she is and how deserving she is of this award as Outstanding Student in Communication. Hannah's plans after this semester, well, first of all, she's going to graduate in May, a month from now, and she'll have an associate's degree and the Communication Studies certificate from Century. And then she's going to be attending Bemidji State University majoring in environmental science. And I hope maybe a minor or a second major in communication. But regardless of what she chooses to do, I know that Hannah is going to be a tremendous force. She is going to use her voice in advocating for the environment. So congratulations, Hannah. We're so proud of you. And we're going to break the mold a little bit because I told Hannah that she had to give an acceptance speech. So, Hannah Johnson.
Professor Neaton did tell me that I had to prepare an acceptance speech. And as I watched everyone else receive their awards and say nothing, I slowly became more and more confident that I wouldn't have to say it. And I think she knew, because she leaned over and looked me in the eyes and whispered, "You still have to give your speech." So today I would just like to say a sincere and heartfelt thank you to the instructors in the communication department who selected me for this award. I'm not usually one for awards, but this one came from people who I admire and whom I enjoy. And it means so much more that they were there. And they were watching me and appreciating me. And so I have to say thank you. And a special thank you to Michelle Neaton, who from my first semester here has pushed me toward the communication certificate. And she knew, even before I did, that it was an awesome fit for me. So thank you. And I would also like to say thank you to my parents, who have really been my backbone as I've been traveling through college for the second time. They drove 4 hours just to be here today, and they have really helped me. And lastly, I would like to say thank you to my little daughter, Kita, who has given up so much of her mommy time